Hello, I'm Mairead Malloy, Global Director of Barclay International and Relationship Strategist.
Hello, I'm Cosmo Landesman, Cultural Commentator for the Sunday Times and the Spectator magazine in London.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We have a fabulous lady on today.
Tell me about her.
She's flown in from San Francisco, Director of Redwood Tours, based in San Francisco, a couple of miles north of San Francisco. And it's a luxury travel agency.
And what does that do?
Well, they arrange travel.
Lovely.
Right? However, there is something. This woman has sort of single-handedly made travel and travel agencies a thing.
I thought they were dead.
Turned it into a totally human experience.
Well, let's find out about that.
Her name is Judy Hervall, and she's the director of Redwood Tours in San Francisco. Welcome, Judy.
Thank you. It's lovely
Very
to be
good
here.
to have you.
Judy, let me ask you. I keep hearing that the age of the travel agent in this new world of the internet where everybody finds their own thing was finished, but you're living proof that it's not true.
That's actually exactly true, because people like to have service in everything they do, whether they're getting an accountant to do their taxes or an attorney to do their will. They need travel agents because we know where to send them if they don't know exactly where they want to go. And we also know how to give them the tips and everything about how to do it correctly and have the most fun.
And I understand, a little personal background here, is that your husband wooed you through travel. Is that correct?
He did, in fact. He did, in fact.
Tell me the
Yeah,
story.
tell us about that.
Well, we had actually just met, and he asked me to go to Paris with him.
And like on a first date?
Second date.
So where was the first
That was
date?
a little
Our
forced.
first date was actually in San Francisco. Our second date, however, was in Paris, and then he took me to meet his parents. It was a little,
So first date San Francisco and then his parents?
Paris first.
Oh, Paris,
Paris,
okay.
and then his parents. I guess I did okay in Paris because he did in fact take me to meet his
Passed the
parents.
test.
You passed the test. So is travel a good way? I mean, I wonder, is travel the new form of dating? Instead of going off to a cocktail bar, we should go off to Kathmandu or something?
Well, it's certainly a way that I like to do it, but I think it's also a really great way to meet people, because a lot of singles are out there traveling now, and they're traveling the world. They're just going around. So I think you can choose a lot of places and meet a lot of great people.
Well, on the subject of singles looking for people, where would you recommend for a single middle-aged man to go these days?
Can I answer? I let you answer.
Oh, don't listen to
Iceland,
her.
Probably somewhere the North Pole, as far away as you can be, just as an FYI.
Actually, Iceland would not be bad. I love Iceland.
Is Iceland a good place to get
Iceland
a hot
is a
chick?
lovely place.
Hot chick in your
A
volcano.
hot Eskimo?
And go in the winter so you get to see the northern lights. They're lovely.
Well, that's very good. What about honeymoon destinations? I would imagine you'd be very good on that sort of area.
Absolutely, and it just depends on what people like. Some people just want to go to Hawaii and lay on a beach and do nothing else. Other people want to jet around the world and go to Bali and Thailand and all of it together. Others want to go and visit the gorillas in Uganda and Rwanda.
Yes, I have a question. So this matching a person with a holiday, so you see there, the whole Tinder of travel is what Judy does is the opposite of the Tinder of travel, right?
Explain that to me.
So Tinder, you know Tinder.
I've heard of it,
Okay.
yes.
So basically the travel agent, then do you build up a relationship with your client, getting to know them and then
Absolutely.
matching a holiday to their expectations?
Absolutely.
Tell us about how does that
Can
work?
you tell a certain personality type where they should
Yeah.
go?
Absolutely, and that's one of the first things you ask is you need to find out what type of adventure traveler they are. Would they really like to go to Kathmandu, or would they prefer to go to Tahiti? It's a whole different experience.
Judy, let me ask you, what happens if you were with a woman who couldn't stop talking, was really bossy? Where
have
would
to
you
ask my
send her? Huh? Where would you send such a woman?
No, but don't, Judy. Can you just behave on it?
Maybe to Ireland, because I
Ladies and
find that
gentlemen,
Irish women do
apologise
that.
for my co-host. The thing is, Judy. So, Judy, I was just going to ask you something based on that. So, do you know when if somebody wants to go on a specific type of holiday, right? So you know when you go online and you go to your website and all that, and you don't really understand what the experience is going to be like because you're just doing it online and you don't know what's on offer there. So isn't that the beauty of what's happening with a travel agent? I think they're coming back into fashion, that you can go in and sit down, spend a couple of hours, and somebody can actually tell you, based on what you're saying, they can give you the ideas about what to do. It's a bit like finding a husband or a wife. You can come into me and I'll say to you, oh, I'd like this kind of woman. And actually, I'll say, no, you need that. Same with Judy.
It's a kind of introduction service.
That's true.
It's what you do at Berkeley, but she does with travel.
Yeah, so tell us a bit about that. Like, how do you do that?
Well, it's very different than on the internet, obviously, because if you're on the internet, you're just basically booking a point A to point B. But you don't know that the train doesn't take you from your final destination to the hotel you want to go to, but a travel agent can tell you, you don't want to stay in this hotel because it's not close enough to the main subway station. If you stay at somewhere close to the main subway station, you can get anywhere in Paris, for example. So it's different than just swiping. It's not like you're going to say, oh, that beach looks good, let's click that. That's not a bad idea.
Is there any evidence that people that go for travel advice have better honeymoons than people who don't, who just try to do it themselves?
Oh, I would say absolutely, for several reasons. One, you have someone in your corner should have something go wrong.
Yeah.
And depending on where you're traveling, the likelihood of something possibly going wrong, flights canceled, delayed, a tsunami, earthquake, things happen. For example, during 9/11, there was just no way that you could reach the airlines. There was no way you could be at the airport and stand in line for hours. You call your travel agent, they have everything up online. I would say that our clients were one of the first ones to get out of New York because we were booking them.
Do you know
But
what I
it's
mean?
worth it.
See, it's all about the human experience again. Do you
It
know what
is.
I mean?
It is.
But there's a myth. Can you dispel a myth for us?
Of course.
So people say now that it's much cheaper to book online. And people talk about, well, if you do it online, you get last minute offers, etc., etc. What is the business of travel? Tell us about that.
I would say that it definitely is not cheaper to buy online for several reasons. One, we've had clients who have called us and said, we already have bought our ticket from San Francisco to Beijing and back.
Okay.
But we want to go to Laos and we want to go here and we want to go there. But what they didn't realize is if you bought it all together, then one, your luggage gets taken. You don't have to go and claim your luggage when you get off the flight.
Okay.
So it's far better because with the personalized service, we're able to put them together with where they're going.
That's what I want to ask you about, because I would have thought the good thing is, one of the things about traveling is that people at some point want to complain. And they want to have someone to complain to. It's a bit like being a psychiatrist and a social worker and a policeman. When things go wrong, can a person call you up and say, da-da-da-da, there's noise outside my hotel, there's this, and you'll immediately get onto it and sort it out? Is that the service that you
We
offer?
have clients who were in Italy, and they showed up and their air conditioning was not working. And they had gone down to the management. The management was like, sorry. Well, we called the hotel and said, this needs to be fixed. They're going to dinner. It must be fixed before they get back. And it was.
That's kind of like a
How do
real
you
life
do
trip.
that?
How do you do that? That's like a real life trip
We booked
advisor.
quite a few people into this particular hotel, and they like to please us.
This is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. Can you get refunds if the holiday's a disaster?
It depends. Travel insurance, absolutely everyone should buy travel insurance, 100%. And that helps a lot in things of that nature.
So what's your view, speaking of that kind of thing, what do you think about now in this era that we live in of online reviews, and how much does that affect people's choices, etc., etc.? What do you think about that?
Online reviews can be sketchy. We have one review for our agency that was from back in 2008. And frankly, the woman had called in asking for a first class ticket. We had quoted it, and then she had put a review online that we were very, very expensive. It was a first class ticket. It was the same price as anywhere else. But that can always skew if you have 5 stars or 3 stars or 4 stars. So, but
the question was sort of, do you think that online reviews affect the way businesses work, or do people sort of think that it's now just a sort of a sketchy thing, that it's mostly contrived?
Do they trust them?
Yeah, because it's a contrived thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. I think they do trust the reviews, and you can almost tell If they're too glowing, don't trust it. And if they're totally down in the bottom, don't trust it either. Look at the ones that appear to be telling
Sort
the
of
truth.
regular.
Yeah.
I mean, would you
Have you ever been a couple who come to you and say, we're going on our honeymoon, and they outline the honeymoon dream of where they want to go, and have you ever thought, no, don't do that?
Absolutely.
And do you tell them, and have you changed their
Oh, we've
mind?
had people come in and they say, this is where we want to go. But we're like, when is the wedding? And then it's like, I'm sorry, that's hurricane season. You don't want to go there. Yes, it's cheap, but that's because it's hurricane season.
You're going to have enough hurricanes in your marriage.
Do you know what I ever think? Did you ever think that when a couple came in to book their honeymoon, did you ever say to yourself, this is not going to last? Did you ever think that?
Well, I've thought that maybe they'll need to have a lot of patience over the next few years.
What's the key to being a good traveler?
Yeah.
A good traveler, okay, that's actually a very good question. I think to be a good traveler, you have to think it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just different. In every country, there are things that are different. It's not better, not worse often.
And what about having patience? Don't you need a lot of patience to travel?
You see,
You do.
Judy, what do you do with someone like me? So I go away, right? And I'm all prepared and I've got everything and I'm very organized and all that. And I like preparing to go away, right? We can say that.
That's fair enough.
But Judy, what do you do like when you're standing in line at the airport and they're searching, you got to get your products, you got to get out and you got to wait and you just can't, I just can't. I want
goes
to be
mad.
I want to be teleported to my destination. It's just too much hassle.
Well, in the States, for one thing, you can get your TSA clearance, so you don't have to wait in line when you arrive back in the States. That helps. There's also Clear, which makes it so you can go through the line for security much faster, or you can simply travel first class or business class and go through those lines.
See, that's it, first
It's a lot
class.
better.
Do you know?
I'm not, from now on, whenever I travel, I'm going through Judy.
So Judy, can we sort of come to you for our travel needs?
I would hope so.
Judy, by the way, Judy, do you think that we'd be like on a honeymoon, good on a honeymoon?
I think you would need a lot of patience.
Which
Yeah.
one? Him or me?
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, don't create that nightmare scenario. Bloody hell, that's not
Look
going
at
to
you
happen.
batting your eyes at me. Please.
She bats your eyes at you, but not me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time that we reconsidered using a travel agent, don't you think?
Excellent, I am. I'm convinced.
We're converted. I am Mairead Malloy. This is Cosmo Landsman. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.